Okay, right, I'm gonna get started. Today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different from painting. I'm gonna be trying to make some infinity bases. I'm really lazy with painting or thinking about what I'm gonna do for bases, and so I've just put together a bunch of the Defiance miniatures that I got from the add-on packs. And so I have a bunch of O12 models to paint, and I put them together, but I haven't based them. So I left them off the base for a reason. I wanted to make some bases. So I went online and had a look and found a fairly, what looked like a decent article about painting bases and also kind of making these nice little sci-fi bases, especially for Infinity. And I thought a very, very clean sci-fi base would be really, really nice for O12. My O12, I'm planning to go for this kind of deep red color scheme with maybe gold trim and gold visors, NMM gold. So that's kind of like the idea in my head that I'm going to be painting with them, but I want their bases to be very, very clean. O12 have that image of being these super clean, the kind of like defenders of the human sphere kind of vibe going with them. So I want these nice clean sci-fi bases, maybe with a little bit of greenery as well, almost as if they're like around these nice little gardeny areas in this very, very clean sci-fi place. All my other models have more kind of rugged terrain and things, so these guys I really want it nice and clean. So on that note, I went out and got a couple of supplies. One of the things I got was this plastic sheet. One side is glossy, one side is matte. So I'm going to try and use the matte side. I think that would be easier to paint on rather than the glossy side. And we're going to give that a go. And so we can cut it into some shapes. Score it as well, so we can kind of get the positioning on that, and I think that would be kind of cool, so we're going to give it a go. I've just boosted my mic just in case it was a little bit too quiet, so hopefully that's going to be okay now. Man, I have loads of little hairs because of my beard and things, and they just seem to attract to this thing. Oh, it's horrible. So yeah, I got this stuff. I also got some masking tape, some Tamiya masking tape. I've heard this is really, really good because it doesn't pull off paint. We're going to try and do some airbrushing as well with these, and try and get some nice blends across of them. Just some simple stuff. We'll give it a go, see how it turns out. First of all though, yeah, I got to start with this sheet here. So I'm going to be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these smaller tiles. Let's do 10, and then we've got one as a kind of a tester. If that works, I'll use it. But first we're going to have to just get these out. I've got 10 of them, and of course one large one as well for the gamma. Alright, so first of all, I'm afraid it's going to be a little bit boring. I'm just going to be drawing circles around these to get our shapes. So I'm just going to do it with this pencil. Actually, I should probably do this with the base the other way around because it's going to be sitting on top. So let's just try it that way. As long as we can get into that area. There we go, there we go. Okay, it should give us the shape that we need. So initially we're going to be kind of marking out the designs that we want for each of these. So right now, here's 3. Just keep going with this. Ooh. Good thing about the pencil is we can always remove the marks afterwards. But to be honest, we'll be painting over everything, so it should be okay. So there we go. There's 5. 6. 7. So I live in Japan, and Japan has all of these kind of hobby items which are actually quite popular abroad as well, and I never actually get into using them, so I thought, okay, this is a chance for me to actually experiment, actually learn how to use this kind of stuff, and get using it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need a couple more, and then we'll get to try and design the basic elements of each one. Okay. Alright. I can't count. So, or I quickly forget my counting. Alright, there we go. Let's just start with these ones first. And we can come back and do the big one later. Alright, I'm going to actually, just to make this a little bit more wieldy, I'm just going to cut this part out. Oh. It's kind of strangely satisfying to cut this plastic. It's really nice. Oh, it's lovely. So this is like a point. It's pretty thin. What was it, 0.4? I think it was a 0.4 thickness. What was it? Yeah, so this was it. Oh, 0.5 millimeter thickness. B4 size. I got 4 pieces in there for 630 yen. It was pretty good, I thought. So yeah, I can do a lot of basing with this if I'm going to be using it, which would be awesome. Okay, so yeah, let's try and get some little designs on this. So I'm going to need my ruler, which off the top of my head I've forgotten where I put. Ha ha. Are you in here? No, you're not in there. Nope, that's models. Nope. Ah, you're down here maybe. One of my drawers. I reorganized everything and I've forgotten where I've put all my stuff. Hey, oh, found you. And you're cool. There you go. Ruler, found it. So, what we're going to try and do is just make some nice little design elements. Just really basic stuff, like where we're going to be scoring it and things like that. So there's an element of this I want to be actually shaved off. So we'll do that. This bit is going to be shaved off. We're going to actually remove this part when we start cutting. So we'll just scratch that off there. Then we want some lines of like intersecting tiles. So I'll try and make sure I get this as straight as I can. There we go. And then mark out some like little points where maybe some light is coming up, like a little light in the ground. So we're going to just mark that just there. There we go. So there's one that we can do that way. We can also do some intersecting lines, perhaps. Yeah. Perhaps the colors are a little bit different. So across there. And then I'm really bad at drawing straight lines. It's about there. That one there. Maybe a little spot there. try that. And that can be as it is. Right. I'm also gonna. Let's see. I want to kind of get some intersecting lines, so it doesn't have to be exactly straight because it's too symmetrical and it doesn't quite work on the base. It looks unnatural. So I'm just going to try drawing in some lines across here. And then we can work out which ones we're going to delete. Okay, so if I just rub out that line there, and this line here, there we go, there we go, there we go, I'm getting the idea there. So that line stays, this line goes. And then you've kind of got these intersecting tiles that leave a little block in the center, which I'm hopefully going to be able to try and cut out as well. And I'll have like a little bit of grass growing up there. This is a kind of a separate piece. We'll see how that goes. Alright, let's do something a bit similar to this. Along there, remove, you know what, could even remove just a little bit more just there as well, and then this bit is removed, this bit is also removed, so it actually goes up right to an edge there, and then do that. 今ライブ中です。はい、大丈夫大丈夫。just もしあなたが出ないように。Alright, so we'll cross it over there. Pop that there. We've got like a little cornery bit, and we'll put in a little spot there. So okay, we're getting some ideas for the shapes. Hopefully they're going to come together and we'll be alright. Let's just do some simple ones. Go. Okay. Right, I might just start cycling some of these designs a little bit because I just don't know. I'm not sure exactly how these are all going to turn out, so I'm just gonna we'll stick with the kind of the design patterns we're going for here. I'm going to put the light on this side. Let's put across over there. Across over just here. Okay. Just remove those bits so we know that's kind of roughly how we're going to be going with that one. What else could we do here? Okay. Remove that line as well. There we go. Okay, let's do another one of those, but maybe off to the side a little bit. Okay. Right, I've got 3 more to do. Let's figure this out. Another double cut. Just a little one there. I'm gonna remove that. Remove that. And then let's just do a straight up cross across there. A bit lazy with my line checking there. It's not particularly great. Let's give that a go. There we go. And right, let's just go with one of those, the very first designs. I like that. So remove that, and then knock down a line straight across here, like that. And sorry if my head gets in the way. Sometimes tend to do that. Let's stick a light just here. Okay. Last one. Let's go with one of those nice simple ones. Let's just bring it down, straight down here. Then straight across there. And then I'll stick the light there. Okay. Now we've got to cutting these out. So I'm gonna try using the scissors. I'm not sure if this is really the best tool for it, but we'll give it a go. See what happens anyway. So let's just try one of these. So just try this one here. It might turn out okay. Curls up the edges a little bit. I'm not too fond of that. Actually, just gonna very quickly cut. Shoot! I kind of knew that was gonna happen as well. I was like, I think this is gonna happen. I think I'm gonna cut right through one of them. Now I'm really nervous about doing it, so I'm just gonna snap that off. So I ended up backing tag raid after I was like, you know what, I'm gonna skip that one. I started looking at it more, seeing how it was played and the ideas behind it, because at first I just didn't get it with all the tiles and things, but now I've actually seen it and watched how it's played. I'm like, oh, that's actually really, really good. Okay, so that's that bit there. What we're going to try and do is just file some of those edges, make it a bit smoother. Just realized I'm not recording any of this properly, am I? I should record. Now I'm recording. So some of that footage is going to have to be taken from my live my live shots. Luckily my YouTube live stuff seems to upload much more smoothly than Twitch did. I think it's just Twitch is not really very popular in Japan, and so they don't have much in the way of servers here. Okay, so we've got a fairly smooth, not perfect, but fairly smooth circle on that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stick that down onto there, and we're going to use this as our experimental one as we try and kind of carve it a little bit. So now this is plastic and plastic. I wonder if it's just CA glue works with this. I'd imagine it would. We'll give it a go. So I'm just gonna pop down a few spots of CA glue gel and hope this works. It might be the wrong kind of plastic for this, to be honest. We'll give it a go. I'm sure it will be enough to hold it in place. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we've got one kind of there. What we're going to do next is we're going to be scoring it. Now, I went and got like a drill bit, which is a chisel. However, I found out that in my drill bit, or my drill, my little Dremel thingy, it doesn't quite fit. It's a right bugger, to be honest. So I can put it in and it looks like it tightens up, but it falls out. Now if I try and do it on this smaller side, so we'll twist it around. I got the smaller side there, and it's just too big to fit. So it's a right pain buying that and it not fitting in the tools that I have at the moment. So, however, basically I've got something similar to this for when I do my when I do some sculpting and things. So let me get my sculpting bag out. Which I believe is down here. Yeah, there you are. So, my bag full of cheapy, sculpting bits and pieces. And I got a few things that can poke holes and score stuff. So let's just get out the tools that we think might be useful. That could be useful. It's not particularly great, to be honest. That one's a very cheapy one that's broken. Let's get the things which are good for scoring. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? Okay, so we got one there that could be good for scoring. We'll try that out. Where's just my straight up? Oh, there you are. This one may well be good for it. This one's probably pretty nice. So we'll give that one a go. Okay, and we'll use that to try and score the plastic so that when we're painting it, we've got grooves and things to follow. So we're going to have to say bye-bye to the Dremel. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, screwdriver. Pop him out the way for now. And let's use this guy and give it a go. Alright, so we'll use our ruler to help keep this as steady as possible. I'll probably stick my head in front of the camera. No, I'm good. Oh, fantastic. And we're going to just try and score this. I think we're doing it. So, it's a fairly thin score, but it's there. Hopefully that will help us with the painting process. Might not be. I think a proper tool would have been better, but it does, I think, do the basic job that I need it to do. Just scrape away some of that And there, we've got it scored in place. Let's just get this one done a little bit more. There we go. Okay. That should be a lot better. Now we're gonna now I'm gonna just try and mark in this one here with a little spot. There we go. Marked in a little spot for where the light's gonna be. Just gonna follow that line a bit. There we go. Try and clean that off. Okay, so we don't need the pencil marks anymore on there. That's basically marked out our areas for that. Can probably... Okay. Whenever I hear a notification on my computer, I'm always worried that it's just like my stream's just cut out or something like that. Let's try and just smooth this down as best we can. It's going to shake the camera a bit. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, that shaves down so easily. God, I wish I bought some of this material before. This plastic is great. I could imagine doing a few things with this. So, but yeah, it's very easy to manage. I like it. So I should be able to get that right down on there. There we go. Yeah, that'll do the job. Okay, there we go. We've got one base kind of ready, but we've got a whole bunch more to do, and one that I've just completely fudged. Yay me. So let's just get these roughly, first of all, I think roughly cut out, so we can just do each one individually on the cutting front. I don't want to pop into each of them and ruin every single one of them. So let's just give that a go. There we go. Yeah, so I've decided to get in onto the Kickstarter for Tag Raid. That one's now successfully over, and I'll be getting that next year. So I'll have 5 tags coming with that to try and paint, along with a bunch of other miniatures. Luckily, not as many as Defiance. I'm kind of happy about that. I'm hoping that will also mean that the estimated shipping costs will be roughly what they say they are. Because with the Defiance one, with all the add-ons, there was just so many miniatures and so many extra boxes that were beyond the original plan, that the shipping, and then with the pandemic, the shipping prices went skyrocketing high. I'm hoping this one will be a little bit more manageable in its shipping costs, but we'll see. And depending on those shipping costs as well, they are going to be doing in the Pledge Manager a discount on actual tags for Infinity, and one of the tags that will be in that, well, I think they're pretty much putting in all of the tags almost that are in the N4 range, but one that I'm particularly fond of trying to get is the I don't know how to pronounce it. Magabada Guard. That one is beautiful. It looks like the big spider bot thing from Ghost in the Shell, and I want it for my Hawker's Alarm, because that's an awesome model. It's just so expensive, so it just depends on what the discount they're actually doing on those tags are. So if I'm feeling my most exorbitant I want to spend the most money that I can, then I'll probably pick up that, along with, is it, what was it called? The Japanese JSA tag. Yep. Yeah, Yoroi, I think. And a possibly a Guija for my Yu Ching. But that's only if I'm feeling really flush. And so it kind of gives me a deadline to try and finish all my Defiance stuff. So I've got like a year to make sure I try and paint it all up and get it all ready. It does seem like a long time to do all of that, but the speed that I go at painting, it will be kind of a test. Along with all of the video editing that I try and do. That's also kind of eats into a lot of my hobby time. But yeah. So yeah, I'm also getting, just for kind of like filming and things and just making my life a bit easier with filming, and certainly if I wanted to do more battle reports and things such as the Arastea ones, but also to do Infinity and possibly Infinity Defiance as well, then I'm also getting a gimbal for my, because I film everything on an iPhone. It works out great for me. I find it does the job that I need it to do. So I'm gonna get, I got like a 3-axis gimbal for the iPhone, so that should be coming soon. That'd be really just handy in terms of like getting quick shots of minis without having to do a crazy setup and then holding the iPhone at a weird angle or carrying it around at weird angles and things, because it just shakes so much. That will hopefully smooth things out for me and make it a little bit more fun to do those things, and I can actually do some moving shots rather than this shaky cam that's kind of moving around everywhere trying to capture everything that it can. It will make doing the reports a lot easier, I think, and certainly filming them. And I don't have to have static shots, or just static shots. I might be able to do some motion shots, kind of flybys and things like that on the miniatures, which would be kind of nice. I'm also getting some just small LED light displays, kind of like the stuff that YouTubers use to light themselves, but I thought that would be really handy to actually use for lighting like an infinity board. So if I've got my, because I have to play Infinity on the floor here in Japan because there's not enough space. So just having these extra lights on tripods, on stands, just close to the scene, shining down where I have an overhead camera as well. That should hopefully give enough light. I can also do mood lighting and things like that with them. So that could also be fun. So I'm looking forward to receiving those. They should be coming soon. This is the one that I screwed up, but we'll see if we can get away with doing this one. I'm not sure if we can actually. Okay. Not sure if I like that. Yeah, it's going to be a problem. This one, I'm going to actually be, I'm going to have to go back and cut off these ones with their bits that I'm cutting off here. Now in the article that I saw, they were using, just for like different surfaces and things, using some sandpaper as a surface on those bits that they cut off. I'm going to use my my Vallejo thick mud stuff to kind of paste there, and then flock it, and perhaps even put in a little shrub, just so it kind of breaks up the sci-fi terrain a little bit, and it's almost as if it's a very clean place where they've got like little gardens and things that they're hanging around. at the moment, I'm afraid this is the really dull part of me just cutting things out, and I'm probably not even doing it on camera. Okay, so there's that one. Right, last one. Once this is done, then we just trim off those bits that we don't need, and then we can start preparing how we're going to paint them as well, after I've scored them, of course. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, well, this is a good one to start with, because we can just straight up nip that one off. And nip that one off. There we go. Okay. You're alright. This one gets also a little bit cut off. Just there. And just there. Try to compensate a bit for my skew-riff lines. Hopefully that's alright. Is there any more? Yes, there's a couple more. 3 more. So we just cut off the end there. And you as well. There we go. Last one. There we go. Alright, so with those bits cut off, now we're gonna stick them straight onto the bases, and then I can score them, and then I'll just sand them down a little bit using the file. Then I think we're good to start actually having a go at painting them. I'm going to be using the airbrush for this to try and get some smooth layering across them. We'll see how that works. Hopefully I'll do alright and not jam my airbrush too much. We'll give it a go. Okay, so right, that seems to have held really nicely. So I think the CA glue works, the CA cement. So let's just place all of these on. We'll just not do the one that I accidentally cut into, because whoops. Oh, is it this one? Well, what we could do, I wonder if we could make it part of it. Just cut it off there. It's a difficult one. No, let's leave that one out for the moment. Let's do these others. So I'll just place that around. Probably more than enough glue on that. And then just push that down. There we go. It goes over the edges a little bit, but again, we'll just sand those down. We should be all good. So we'll just leave that one to dry. And we'll get this one on. There we go. There you go. That one's on. And next one. So yeah, hopefully we can knock out a whole bunch of these, and if they look good, I'll be really happy. Right, then we just got the cutaway ones. And then we're looking good on those bases. And then that will give us a lip. Should be nice. There we go. This was the first one we did because it's quite large over the base, but we'll just, again, we'll file that down. Not you. Right, next is these smaller pieces. Oops. Ugh. Okay, and last one. We'll knock this one up, and then we're going to be good. Okay. Right. That's that bit done. Let's clear out some of this rubbish. There we go. Pop that in the bin. Okay. Alright. So, with those all kind of down and ready, that one has already been done. This one, right, we're going to start scoring them. So, we'll go through and score each of these. And that will get us one step closer to the painting, which is the bit I'm really excited for. And we'll probably muck up the most. Okay. Score that bit. There we go. Because the surface of these things is quite smooth, it's really hard to keep the ruler still. It kind of slides back and forth, it spins quite a bit. Yeah, you can see I've fudged up that line a little bit, but that's okay, because it actually still is one line. I just need to remove, once I paint over the pencil, it should be fine. And score this one. There we go. See that? It's okay. Now, it could be that this scoring is way too fine, and I'm actually supposed to score it a little bit more with a thicker line. But we're learning, and that's okay by me. It's the only way to get better. It's by practicing and having a go. Okay. Now we go down. this is where it reminds me of bulk painting, batch painting. I'm not fond of batch painting because I have to do it all at the same time. But if I'm going to be using the airbrush, I want to use it on all of these guys at the same time and not waste a load of paint and loads of effort. Should make it easier for me and faster. Hopefully we can get some nice blends using the airbrush. At least that is the hope. And that much is a problem on the when I'm painting, but we'll see. Oh my bloody thing! Right, let's just try. I'll reconnect one of my cameras there. There we go, we're back. A bit of back and forth there. Should be a little bit more secure on that. I'm going to turn down the music just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that's a bit better. Hopefully I won't have any dropouts again. Should be okay. Let's get the last of these ones done. Anyway, so I'm going to be jumping back and forth in conversation because I'm talking to myself at the moment. Because that's healthy. But it's probably better than just broadcasting myself with nothing to say. Just score that one there. That should be good. Alright, we're halfway, well, we're most of the way through. That's not bad. I'll make sure that the indentation is deep enough. There we go. Okay. Again, holding this ruler still is really difficult. It's taking all my concentration. But yeah, talking about jumping back and forth about different conversations because I'm talking to myself. Going to be getting tag raid. I think it's actually going to be kind of fun. It seems like it's Infinity. It's basically Infinity Deathmatch. It's a bit like Fortnite, it seems, where you basically drop in a random location with your tag and your prospecting team, and you try and loot as much TCM as you can from the site whilst fighting the opponent. So it's like balancing looting and balancing killing and trying to score the most TCM, which is the Neo material, one of the Neo materials that you can gather. But it also has these mega beasts that turn up, and you have to kind of fight them. But as you fight them, you can get even more rare Neo materials from hurting them. So that seems pretty cool. And as soon as you die, you just respawn straight away. So there's no downtime or anything like that. But you got to go and try and. Everyone else might try and loot your corpse. So you got to get there as quickly as possible to get it. Not very realistic, I guess, but it seems like a really fun game. So I'm looking forward to it. Just got to wait a year. But in the meantime, I've got lots of Defiance to play. Lots of Defiance to paint first. I'm pretty much, I think I've finished all of the models that I need to play the first campaign fully painted. I just got to do the scenery. The scenery has me stumped as to how to paint it, to be honest. So that's something else I'm going to have to figure out. But we'll figure it out. Figure something out. There we go. Last bit on this one. Hoping this one will turn out kind of nice. Oh, I was supposed to cut out the center first, wasn't I? Oh well. We can still paint that. That's okay. Doesn't have to be the same. Done in the same style. So let's just go with that. Alright, two more. Come on. Let's get it done. Did I overdo that? I'm not sure. Maybe I did. Okay. There we go. Right, one last one. My daughter's needs a mirror tomorrow for school. They're doing kind of brushing teeth and using the mirror to help. And we realized, oh crap, we don't have a mirror with a handle, so my wife was good enough to go out and get one tonight. She's just got back. Ooh, it's going to be a bit difficult. Really worried about snapping this thing. This tool isn't really made for this. It's supposed to be going into clay rather than plastic sheets. But it seems to be doing the job. Or at least scoring everything. Oh, my lines are so bad. Oh well. We'll just see how it looks. It's going to look really bad, but we'll try and make it work. Okay. Scored and done. Let's just give it a little old shave. This is where I'm going to shape the whole table and everything. It's crazy, so you get a nice earthquake effect on the camera there. The camera is basically on a crane arm that's connected to the table that I'm shaking. Before I actually had it on a separate thing, overlooking everything, I could still do it that way, but this has actually been working out kind of nicely for me. In terms of positioning, it just means that if I shake the table, it shakes as well. So I'm sorry for the shaky cam. Wow. I think I'm doing very well tonight for talking to myself. I had a bit of a sore throat last week, so I couldn't do any recording with my voice. It was a real pain. So I just worked on my Aristeo report video, and I've got the first round all finished and edited and fully done. I've still got the other rounds to do. So that's gonna take me a while, but that's kind of a priority at the moment over anything else, is actually working on those videos. I'm hoping I can get that out as soon as possible. I might even throw up the kind of the first round and the introduction to show, like, look, I am working on it. It will come out. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we'll hopefully have a bit of content coming up in the near future. In December, I get a 3-week holiday. Still going to be doing lots of family things, but it does free me up, certainly for the first week, I would say, to do a lot of content. So I'm probably going to be trying to stream every day, do a little bit of painting and hobby, and trying to upload videos as often as I can. That's where I think a lot of my focus is going to be. It's getting miniatures painted and some videos up. So hopefully I'll get a little period of decent content. Then I'll also probably try and record an actual game of Infinity. See if I can do a battle report in the same vein that I've done my Aristea ones. Well, Aristea 1 at the moment. Possibly even do Infinity Defiance. I think that one will be actually a lot easier. I can do it in a very similar vein to the Aristea battle reports, but I do think it's going to be easier to edit because it's more straightforward in terms of understanding it. It's like, here's the adventure, and get straight into the action, and kind of go through the motions, as it were, with that one. So it would be, I think that would be a really cool one to do. I'm looking forward to being able to do that. I can do more kind of moody lighting and things. May actually even show the rolls rather than animating them. I think I've worked out a way of trying to do that. This time it's going to mean it involves 3 cameras, 1 overhead camera to record like the map, 1 free cam on the gimbal to record everything that's happening on the board, and another camera that's just straight down on the dice box. I've made like some velvet, not velvet, some but you know, what's it? It's not velvet, but it's velvety cotton, cheap cotton things. But it's basically a nice rolling surface, and so I can use that and just roll straight into there, and I get everything on there, and I'm not gonna miss out on anything. So that's a good way for me to be able to show the rolls, I think. Oh, I could probably do a bit more on that. There we go. That'll do. That'll do, big. That'll do. Doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah. So that's ideas for. I got a lot of content ideas at the moment. One of them is going to be this basing thing. See if I'm actually successful with this and make a video about it. Perhaps either way. I got the results for the painting competition back, but it was very disappointing for me. So I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. I'll see if I want to enter the next one. I think I do. It's quite a time sink for me, and it kind of takes me off track of getting other things done, which is a bit of a bugger for me. But oh god, yeah, this one's proper thick. Let's see if we can get through this. Oh my god, a shaky cam. It's really a lot there still. But at least it's curving. I may just have to go with it. No, yeah, I'm just gonna go with it. It's probably not a good idea, but I'm just, yeah. These are the bits where I'm a bit meh. I'm not having fun at the moment. I'm not got the paint going. I'm not having fun. Then I regret it later when I'm like, oh, it doesn't look good. There we go. These ones should be a little bit quicker because these ones were a bit closer to the design. It was just that last one there was the one which I did too large at the beginning and was going to be my tester, but ended up actually having to be used because I cut through another one when I was cutting them out. Because I smart like that. As I'm handling these, all the pencil marks are coming off, but it's okay because now I can actually see where I've scored, which is all right. Right, there we go. It's pretty solid, to be honest. It's all good. This one too is already pretty good. Just a little bit of filing around the edges and should be all good. There we go. And then the last one. And we're going to get on to painting soon. Okay. I think we're good there. Okay. A bit of a dust going on there. A few flakes here and there. Okay, and we're gonna be having a go at painting these, so I'm gonna just clear up some of these tools out the way so we don't spray it all. Little pile of stuff over there, and we're going to be focusing on these guys here. So really we only need to get the top surfaces, so it's fairly flat work, so we can actually kind of spray directly onto here. Should be fine. So I'm going to take a little break at the moment. I'm going to go and get my things ready, make sure the airbrush is ready to go. Which paints I want to use as well, and we're going to have a go at doing that. Let's see if that works. So I'll catch you in a little bit. I'm just going to stay online, but I'm just going to go on to my kind of waiting screen. Okay, I think we're ready to give this a go. I'm going to give it a whirl. So first off, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be just painting these black first by getting our airbrush ready. So yeah, these things are going to fly everywhere, I think, if I do it this way. But yeah, I think we'll just give it a go. This is silly. I should stick these down, but screw it. We're just gonna give this a go. And then we can do them individually. Screw it. We'll just do it individually anyway. So I'll just do that, and then we'll just make sure we get decent coverage on it, and then we should be good. So first I've got to get the top off. And then we're going to be popping in our black first. So I've just got straight up surface primer. I'm going to thin it down a little bit. I've got airflow improver in there as well, but I've also got some purified water. I don't have any paint, the airbrush paint thinner. So I have to just use some purified water, but luckily I've got purified water, so I'm going to put in a little bit of that first. I'm just going to make sure we're also able to spray it. Yep, I can feel that on my hand. That's good, it's coming through. That's good. Try to keep the PSI fairly low, but I still feel it's actually quite strong at the moment, but we'll just see how it goes. So let's just put that in there. Still want it fairly thin. We'll use a brush to just mix it all up. Preferably not do too much in here, but for this black I'm just going to do that because I don't want to contaminate my mixing area, just to do this. So that's fairly thin, it should come out. We'll see how well this comes through, but hopefully it should be okay. And might be a bit too thin, but that's I'd rather it be too thin than too thick at the moment. Let's just see how this comes out. Yeah, it's coming out fairly watery at the moment, but that's because I ran some water through earlier, so let's just see. Yeah, I've fudged this one up, haven't I? Yeah. Right, let's leave that to the side for a minute. Okay. Yeah, it's coming in a little bit watery, I think, but oh, there we go. That's a bit better, but we just gotta layer it up a bit. So let's just thicken that up. It is still a bit watery, you can see it pooling. So I've not done a great job on that one. Well done, me. Yeah. This is not thick enough at the moment, so as you can tell, I'm not very experienced with the airbrush. Haha. And yeah, I wanted to go for the consistency of milk, but I've gone a little bit too thin on that one. And I think I probably put in a bit too much water into this mix. Generally, yeah, you want to use the airbrush thinner rather than water. But again, it's not just pure water from the tap. It is purified water. I'm just going to use my hand there to blow that through. I mean, it seems okay, but we'll see. So you can always start off spraying first. Not spraying, but blowing first, and then you pull back on the lever to spray. See how that comes out now. That seems a bit better, doesn't it? That's much better. This is I got this. This is a budget airbrush, but it seems to do the job pretty well. So I don't expect it to last forever, but it does the job it's supposed to, and it came with loads of little extras that are actually kind of useful if I get some more decent airbrushes as well in the future if I decide to do that. Initially we're just getting these base coated in the black. There we go. Whee! Let's fingerprint on that one. Probably use gloves for this so I don't scratch the paint, but to be honest I can edge those bits later. Oh! Oh sorry, yeah. Yeah, that seems about the right amount. Sorry, I missed your conversation there for a little bit. It's got a 5. Yeah. I'm still kind of learning the airbrush. I'm not particularly great at it, so this for me is a great way of practicing because it's on something that's a bit throwaway. I don't have to worry too much. But we're gonna see. So yeah, this is still, I would say, still a bit thin, but it's doing the job. Here we go. Alright, cool. Yeah, always good to see you. Always good to see you. So I know you were asking. I was saying before on the stream that I wasn't gonna get the Kickstarter tag raid. I went and got the Kickstarter and tag raid. So I'll be getting some tags in a year. We're painting those up. Yeah, I really want to learn airbrush skills. I'm really not good with them. Yeah. I'm really tempted to also on this Kickstarter as well. Once the pledge manager comes through, they're gonna have discounts on N4 tags. And I really want the Magara Bagard? I can't pronounce that one. But that giant tag for Hakazlam, I've always wanted that thing. And I'm like, if it's a decent discount, I may just throw that one in on my pledge. Yeah, they were some cool unlocks. I was really, once I was like, I'm gonna do this. It was only like, I decided to actually pledge like 2 days before the end of the thing. I was doing I had to do some certification for work, and it's like this online certification thing with like some really boring videos as part of the process that you have to kind of go through. And whilst I was watching these really boring videos, I was like, I'm just gonna go and make my pledge now. Just be done with it, because I'm just wanting it. The more I actually looked at the game and was like, oh, actually, this is how it works. Oh, I kind of like that. Oh, this is like a cool gateway game into Infinity, and I kind of like that you got to balance the fighting with the looting and things. Like just fighting purely is not going to win it for you. I kind of like that. I was wondering about the Black Friday sale. Now, if they have a Black Friday sale, I am tempted to get skins for Aristea, because last time I think they did do that, where it was like buy two get one free or something like that. And now that they actually have a lot more skins, I'm kind of like, ooh, do I pick out some of those? Is what I'm wondering. But their Black Friday sales are always, I don't know, they're kind of small, but they haven't had any press about it, which I'm quite surprised. So I'm like, are they doing something? Are they actually going to be doing it? I don't know, but we'll see. Yeah, I got a Sphinx ready to be painted. I gotta do that one. That's one I want to do. But I really wanted to do it so he's like appearing out of the background. So like coming up through the legs, it's blending into the scenery around him, whilst the top half is appeared. But to get that effect and things, I'm like, how am I going to do that? Alright, these are basically done with the black. This is good. I may have some models that I need to prime, so using up the rest of this black, I'm terrible for not wanting to waste anything. Oh my god, you're gonna so fall, aren't you? Don't fall. I don't want paint everywhere. I'll be so upset. I'll be very careful. Alright. Yeah, kind of that camo effect. I want him to be appearing, ready to hunt kind of thing. That would be kind of cool to do on something big like that. Okay, which models do I do? So you're gonna need to be painted up for that, and so you too. I'm looking at my models and seeing which ones do I need to paint up for the campaigns and things, and these ones I think are in mission 3, so I'm gonna need to get these ones painted up soon. So let's just give these ones at least the black part of their base coating. See how this holds onto the metal. It seems to be pretty good. Yeah, I bet I should have a look at that. I'm actually wanting to get some Artis Opus brushes. They were originally the brushes I was going to get before I actually bought the whatchamacallit ones. God damn it. The ones with the red handle that I did a review on, and I can't think of the name of them. Redgrass, the Redgrass handle, the Redgrass brushes. It was just at the time it was Brexit, and the shipping from Brexit was expensive, and there was all sorts of problems with shipping things out of the country or going into the country. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy from England for a bit. That's it, yeah, Redgrass. Yeah, this coat is a little too thin, but it's going on, so I can always top this one up at a later date. I might as well use up this paint. Yeah, you can see it spreading a little bit. be honest, I think probably the PSI of my airbrush is a bit too high. It's not too high for doing base coating and things, but maybe for the detailing. If I wanted to try doing detailing with an airbrush, it's a bit too high. I'm not sure how this thing will do with detailing, to be honest, because it is a cheapy airbrush. But it is, at the moment, it's what they got the 0.2 needle. And to be honest, it's doing a far better job than my previous airbrush that I had, that I was using, which was the Neo, the Iwata Neo, which is their kind of cheapy airbrush that they have. That's the beginner's airbrush. But I think I made a few errors the very first time I used it, and used the wrong thinner. Because here in Japan, a lot of their acrylic paints have actual kind of chemicals in, or oils in, or something like that, and so it just fudged with the acrylic paints that I had, and fudged them up, and I think it fudged up the whole airbrush, which was a shame. So I was like, I could try and replace some of the parts, or for the same amount of money or less money, I can just buy a cheap, like a good standard cheap airbrush. So I went on AliExpress and ordered one of their airbrushes, and it came with loads of extras as well, all these bits down here, which are really nice actually, and it's actually been pretty good. It's much easier to maintain at the moment. Just don't expect it to last forever. And knowing that, and knowing that it was cheap, I'm not so fussed if it breaks. But at the moment, it's been pretty decent. I don't get any sputtering at the moment. Normally by now my Neo would be sputtering like crazy. Okay. There we go. We got a decent enough coat on you at the moment. Always forget from the bottom that you miss a lot. There we go. He's going to be a fun one to paint. I'm going to be doing his kind of skin tones in different colours as well, much like I was doing with the other, tigers. These sculpts are, I love this guy's sculpt. It's so cool. Really, really like these guys. So I want to try and do a decent paint job on these. Yeah, this is a little bit of I thinned it way too much, so it is a little bit watery. It's not too watery that's a problem, but it's just now every time the air hits, because it's not dry yet, it pushes the paint off of a number of the flatter surfaces and into recesses, which could pool up and be a problem, but it's not pooling too much, it's just a little bit. So I'm not too worried. There, oops. There we go. Oh, I've got to do you actually. Oh. Still got a fair bit of paint to use, which is great. I may just leave him to dry for a minute before I come back and do an extra layer. Let's get this one done properly. There we go. Anyway, what have you been painting lately? You did such a good job in October. getting all those orcs done and looking so vibrant. I really like them. Oh, I don't know that one. Again, like being in Japan as well, I get limited choice of things. I'm really lucky that there is a place that does all all the Vallejo stuff at a really reasonable price. Because everything else here is kind of marked up, or you're paying like the Games Workshop prices from abroad, and that's always really expensive. But the Vallejo stuff is priced so well in the shop that I buy it. It's a steal in comparison to other places. Otherwise, everything is like the Tamiya and Mr. Hobby Japanese brands, but their acrylics are they've got like what is it in there? They got like a chemical base in that enamel type of thing, and it just it doesn't go with the water-based acrylics at all. Yeah, I was really impressed. They looked absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, work's been kicking my butt, and just family life and things like that. It just kind of slows down a lot of the hobby side of things, especially when I'm also doing videos and trying to edit and things like that. I think I kind of have bitten off a bit more than I can chew, but I enjoy. It's like all of the things that I enjoy rolled into one thing. So I like making films and editing, and I love hobby and painting, and I love playing games. So kind of like mixing all of that together in one is kind of fun, but it's also kind of tiring and hard to keep up the production of it. Yeah. Cool. What kind of terrain is it? Is it kind of more fantasy AOS-y style of terrain, or is it sci-fi terrain? Speaking of terrain, I'm actually probably gonna, just to use up the last of this, I'm gonna try and do a little bit of the Infinity terrain that I've got to do. So many Defiance boxes. No. Come on. Oh god, you're heavy. Oh my gosh. Oh. This old Defiance box. Oh. Corset here is heavy. No wonder it costs so much to ship it over. Alright. Where are you at? Here we go. Right, I guess let's just do a bunch of these doors. Let's just start with you. I don't think I'm going to get much more out of the paint that I've got remaining. I'm just starting to fill myself up with loads of boxes around me as well. Ah, no, that's good. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad someone enjoys it. I enjoy it. I enjoy making it and actually, seeing some of it sometimes. I've actually edited the first round of the next Aristea battle report. It just takes forever to do. So that's why I haven't had any content for a little while, because I've been busy trying to get that thing done. But it's a pain to get done. Those two have actually been kind of primed. That's weird. But yeah, I got the first round done and it's looking pretty good. Oh, cool, color shifts. Nice. I've seen some Green Stuff World stuff here. They do actually sell it here. It's marked up pretty much, pretty high, but they do have some of that Green Stuff World stuff, which I think looks really cool. And I love their channel where they show what you can do with their things. The one thing I have of theirs is the crackle paint, which I use for any kind of desert bases and things, or I did with a bunch of my Aristators to do kind of weird, colourful crackle paint stuff, because you can mix in other paints and kind of create other colours, and it still crackles. So you can kind of make some cool looking bases. Some work better than others. To be honest, it's quite a thin crackle paint compared to I think the GW ones. So sometimes I think the GW one might actually be sometimes in some ways a bit better. I don't know. But you get a lot more out of the Green Stuff World one. They give you a lot more, so it's kind of nice. I'm just going crazy with this black. Yeah, I just hate wasting any paint, so I don't want to just pour this all away. Oh, it looks like I'm about finished. So I think this is the last one I do. There we go. Yep, I'm done. Eesh. I'm going to have to redo you a little bit, but that's okay. Move you there. Okay. So I'll try and clear this. Now it's time to play around with actual painting of these. And how I'm going to do that, which I'm not exactly sure. Oh, I'm going to need some kitchen towel to try and just clean this out. I'm back. Ahoy. Alright. Oh, yeah. I think I remember seeing that video. Yeah, he's got a great channel and he's just such a friendly, nice kind of guy. It's so easy to watch and be, oh, he's just lovely. Alright, let's clean you out a little bit. There we go. Got airbrush cleaner. Do I want to run this? I don't want to run this through yet because I'm going to be putting in some other paints and things. I think that's just going to fudge it up a little bit. So let's use my purified water. And just kind of run it through this for a bit. Should just clean it out a little bit for now. I think that's done the job. Yep, we're good. Okay, now I've got to figure out what I'm actually going to be doing with these. So, I believe I wanted to do some of the cold grey, or even start off with a bit of a dark grey, just kind of go over a little bit. Or do I just go straight into doing some cold grey? Cold grey, a bit of stippling, that might be just the way to go. Yeah, let's just play around. Let's see what we get. Okay, there's my cold grey. Right. Okay, I'm gonna use this pot to kind of mix it in. I don't want to mix it in the actual airbrush. I've tried that before, and I'm worried that that's what caused me to have issues. So, I'm just gonna make a little mix in here. So. Okay, so I've got like 6 or so drops of that. And this is quite thick, so we want to thin it down a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I'm going to see if I can mix this up. I got enough space for a brush as well. This is probably the worst way of actually mixing this paint. We'll get a little bit of airbrush throw plover in there as well. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to use the brush to try and just mix that in. See how that looks. Hopefully it should be able to pour. I'm fudging this up so much. I don't think this is the right way of doing this, but we're learning. We're learning. I used to have a little tray that I used to mix the airbrush paint in, but I don't know where I put it since I've done a reshuffle of my whole desk here. So I was like, oh, I got this little pot, I'll use this. I could just cut the top off of this pot, that might work, and then use this to mix. Okay, well, let's give it a go. Enough talking. Oh, you know what? Actually, that works out pretty well. Probably still a bit too thin, to be honest, but screw it. At least I mixed it before putting it in. I think that's the right thing to do. So, first of all, let's just test. Make sure we get any of that black out, and then we've got the cold grey. Okay. Now, yeah, what I want to do is just do some soft little shots across there. I don't want to get it completely on there. I just kind of want to almost get these little spots of grey. I should really stick these things down to something so my fingers don't get in the way, but let's just give it a go. Maybe a bit too much there. Just spread it a bit more thin. Let's try and find another spot. Just so we kind of get these kind of spotted effects, we'll just try that. Yeah, I'm just experimenting with these. Okay. We'll run that through before color change. Interesting. Hot water. Okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of creating a fairly nice glow on there. I'm going to stick with that, that's fine. Just pull back very slowly on the hammer. You can see it just producing. There we go. Okay, I might just do another one just over here. Just catching the edge. Maybe a bit too much on that edge there, but that's okay. I'm liking these little glows though. This is kind of cool. This might help me with doing actually OSL on some models. This actual airbrush is actually a lot better than the more expensive brush that I first had. This is actually pretty cool. I feel like I'm still learning control, but I have more control with this thing. than I did with the other one. Hey, there we go. You can start to see a little bit of a style coming through on these things. That's kind of nice. Okay, I can hold this one because that one's going to be painted over a different thing completely. Should have probably given this one another pass with the black, but there we go. Let's just go with that. Can't quite see if I've done enough on that one. I think, it's there. It's just my angle, I think. Okay. That's maybe the worst one I've done so far. But once they dry as well, the tone goes down a little bit darker, so it might be okay. Just pulling back carefully on the hammer. That feels much more controlled. A little bit stronger there. Okay. Alright, so now we're kind of getting this little range here across these. Pretty happy with that so far. So next I'm gonna try and stipple some bits in as well. Now we've kind of got this kind of glowy effect here. I'm gonna stipple in the rest, getting a little bit lighter each time. See if that looks any good. Then I'm going to try and edge highlight some of these edges that I have in here to kind of make them just stand out a little bit a little bit stronger. Then finally, we're going to be spraying the actual the light glows as well, where those spots are that I've marked in place. We'll see how that goes. That is the aim there. Okay, now I still have more of this paint, so again, I don't want to waste it, so let's do a little bit of, let's see if I can just do some zenithal painting on these dudes here. There we go. We got kind of a bit of a zenithal going on there. There we go. That's just going to be helping me with the painting of them. Normally I would do it in the white, but this light grey kind of works as well, so it's no problem. Okay. Oh, let's get a little bit on this angle. Just missing a little bit there. These guys are cool. They just look like Predator with their kind of like weird dreadlocks and things. They're cool. Alright, and then there's the name of these guys, just I lose a lot. I forget their names completely all the time. Oh well, I'm gonna just get him done. I want to say Avatar, but it's not the Avatar. The Avatar's the tag, and this guy's not a tag. This guy's a heavy infantry. He's a Silhouette 5 heavy infantry. It seems this consistency turned out rather well for me. No sputtering. This is really nice. I'm really enjoying this airbrush. I'm having far fewer problems than I had with the other the other airbrush I was using. So that's made me happy. Right, there's only a little bit of paint left, so I'm just gonna pour that out. Bye bye paint. And then clear out some of this. There's the. Okay. Right, let's run some of the water through. Clear this bad boy out. Alright, we'll empty this bit, and then yeah, no, they are generally they are the actual. The thing with the Iwata Neo is it's not actually made by Iwata. It's actually, I think, licensed by Iwata, but there's another company that make them. It's still supposed to be good quality. I think I just fudged it up really early on, and then yeah, I had trouble. I tried to take it apart many times and clean it, and when I put it back together, it never quite did the thing it was supposed to do, or it would work for a little while, but then it'll start to get lots of sputtering and things like that. I may have got a crappy model, or it was probably just my fault with not knowing how to use an airbrush and it being my first time with them. So kind of learning from some of those mistakes and trying to avoid some of the errors that I know I made. Just going to take more care of how I approach them. But this is a good one to use because it's kind of the expensive end of the really cheap knockoff stuff. And it's really good. For what it is and for what I paid for it. It was, I guess, the equivalent of about $30 US dollars, and came with it already came set up with the 0.2 needle inside, but it also came with a 0.3 needle and a 0.5 needle with the nozzles to go with them as well. Came with an extra filter here. What's it? Moisture trap. Also has the the airflow control here, so even if your PSI is really high on your machine, you can use this to try and reduce the PSI directly from here, along with being able to just, I think I can just unhook. Yep, I can just unhook if I need to directly here without having to unscrew anything. Really nice. So it just comes with a load of really cool features that even if the brush fudges up and I have to get rid of the brush, I'm going to keep all of this stuff because it's really awesome. It also has the control up here, the nut control, so that you can control how much the hammer can pull back. So if you're doing fine detailing, you can control the amount of paint that's actually going to come through the thing. So it comes with all this stuff, and it's dirt cheap. And it's like, well, even if this does screw up, I can take parts of it that I really like and put it onto an airbrush that I pay more money for. So it's pretty cool. But my expectation is that it's probably not like the same quality of steel and things, so it'll probably rust faster. So in that sense, it's going to die faster than what a decent airbrush is going to be like. But for the price, it's great. I'm going to see how much I can use it before it dies, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's pretty cool. Right. Let's actually get onto a little bit of painting then. So this time we're going to be doing a bit of stippling. So I got me sponge. Got this to dry the sponge on, and I'm going to need some paints. So right, what we want to do is we want to go from a little bit of the grey, and we want to rise up a little bit lighter greys as well. So with that in mind, I could go with like a bit of a muddy, oily texture, but I kind of want it to be clean. So let's do that. Oh, you know what? I might do pink lighting, just because. Yeah, pink. No, because the pink with the red won't work so well. So maybe the blue would be a good contrast. The turquoise would be a good contrast. Choices. But first, we need to do the stippling. So let's just get some. Let's see. A Stratum grey could be quite good for that. I had the cold grey earlier. Where did I put the cold grey? It's right there. There's the cold grey. I've also got another grey I'm supposed to use, or I can use. It was suggested to use, which I do have somewhere. Where is it? It's not that one. No. Well, which one was it? I'm sure I've got it, because it's one of the Nocturna paints. Was it Cold Flesh? Really? No. Yes? No. No, I don't think it was cold. Was it really Cold Flesh? It might have been. The suggestion was to use this one. So it was like Cold Grey and Cold Flesh. Yeah, I think it was. So yeah, we'll give them a go. See how it goes. I'm going to start off with a little bit of dark blue grey stippled on. See how that looks, because I've got quite a bit of black in there, so hopefully that'll work out okay. So I'm going to start off with this one, just pop a little bit onto there, then I'm just going to get a little bit on there, just get that there, and then yeah, just going to, can't really see too much of it. Okay, but yeah, it just kind of gives it, I guess, a little bit of a kind of a spotlighting effect, and then there's just the edging of this. But as we lighten up, that's going to become a little bit more obvious as we go. It's just hopefully that will help it give it a little bit of depth as we go. That's the plan anyway. Hard to see, to be honest. I may have just gone too dark to begin with, but that's probably better than going too light too early. We can just work it up as we go. See how that looks in a bit. I'm hoping I can pull these things off because I'm really bad at basing, and this is kind of me trying to train myself into actually making an effort with this, and hopefully I hope to actually get a decent base out of it. But we'll see once we get to doing the final bit with the airbrush. I'm hoping to get these all done tonight. That would feel great. So it might mean I stay up a little bit late because it's already like 11:45 here. But I think it'd be worth it just to hammer these things out. I'm probably not going to get much time this weekend to do anything, and if I leave it, I'm going to lose that need to do them. Okay. That one's a bit messy, but that should cover up once we start putting the lighter shades. So yeah, cold grey, Ministraten grey is my lightest grey, so that's going to be the last one that I'm going to do. But let's try a touch of the cold grey. That's shining up quite a lot, isn't it? The other guy seemed to do it really well. When I was looking at his work, I was like, oh, that looks so good, and it makes it seem so easy. I'm going, I'm not sure if I like that at all. I'm sure, yeah, this is all the learning process. I've got to make sure that that's not too much left in there. Yeah, there's too much. May have been too much there. Oh yeah. Maybe I didn't go light enough with the airbrush. The airbrush could have actually gone a little bit lighter, because this is maybe... I didn't realise that cold grey would actually be this light when I'm just stipling it. Sure, thanks for joining. It's always a pleasure. You take care. And I'll catch you later. I'll try to talk about something nonsensical for you if you're going to be watching it later. Let's see if I can get this done or not. Okay. You know, I'm starting to grow on it. It's not exactly what I was going to go for, but I think it's still turning. Oh, I'm such an idiot. That's not too bad. Because I think it's because it's like not this precise thing. It's almost like random things basically come out when you're doing things like this. That it frustrates me when it's like it's not turning out as I was planning. But that's kind of like I guess the thing about basing and doing these kinds of techniques, and why I kind of avoid them, because I feel like it's up to the gods in some way. Of like, I'm just like, I don't trust myself to just do this kind of almost random style of painting. I don't trust it. But I guess it's okay. It's not what was in my head, but that should be okay. That should be alright. Let's just keep going with this for a little bit. Yeah, that's alright. I think it's getting better as I go along, to be honest. I'm probably going to now screw this up as I apply more paint. But we'll see. Okay, we're going to pop that down a little bit there. And then see how this goes. Right. Let's try it. Okay. It's probably a bit of a better way for you to actually see it a little bit. And then we just kind of staple it in there. I'm going to give the Administratum Grey a go as well. I'm a bit worried it's going to go a bit too bright, but screw it. This is all about just figuring out how we're going to do this. Okay. It's subtle now, and I like it when it's subtle. It's just sometimes I'm like, is it too subtle and I can't notice it? But then if I go any more, it doesn't become subtle anymore, and it's very obvious that I've fudged up. See, I'm doing this, I'm not seeing any change. However, when I change the light a little bit, I am seeing a bit more. I don't know. Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright, that's got a little bit in there. This one really doesn't look like it's got anything on there. Tell you what, it's still got a bit on the end there, so let's just cut that on there. And then let's use that. Just get that just right. There we go. There we go. Not very subtle, but at least it gives it a more interesting texture a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so right, we got a bit of that on there. Let's try going a little bit brighter and seeing what this is like. It's not that much lighter, to be honest, but it is a little bit, so we'll see. I don't want to go too far and do a white or anything like that. There we go. Oh, okay, I like that, I like that. Just helps make it pop a bit more in places. Just be gentle with it. A little bit in the center there as well. Okay. So I've got these ones to do, so let's get a little bit more on there. Again, you don't want it to be thick, so we want it to just be enough to start appearing on there. And not completely even. And I think we're starting to actually get an effect that's actually not too bad. So we'll see. Hopefully we can make some pretty cool bases. And this is a great way of actually doing weathering on things like tanks. I've done this before a long time ago for 40k tanks, and it came out pretty well. I thought at the time, I'd probably look back on it and go, oh my god, it's just terrible. But it seemed pretty good at the time. I liked them. Did it on my chimeras. For the Astra Militarum. Or Imperial Guard. Okay. I think I saw Angel, is it Angel? It's not Angel, but Angel Geraldez. I'm sorry, I'm very bad with Spanish names. And he's painting, he was doing stuff with the airbrush that was really cool, where he was sticking like to do like blood effects and blood splatter. He would stick it onto, he would just use a brush, a regular brush, put some red paint on, and then use the airbrush to fire air at it, and it would just splatter it onto things. It was just a really cool effect. I thought that was rather clever and rather smart. It's got so many cool techniques and things. It's such a wonderful painter, and can paint so beautifully, so quickly. It's a pain to watch, to be honest. Right, now I'm gonna have to. I'm just gonna move my stream thing there, and we're actually gonna get our brushes. Okay, let's see. Still a bit moist. Should be okay. Put you down there for the moment. Now, what I'm going to use, I'm actually going to use my nice brush for this. Not you. I'm going to use you. I'm going to have a go at painting this. So we're going to use Cold Flesh for this. We're just going to edge highlight all of the the bits that we've engraved and see how that looks. We'll just give that a go. Okay, I'm going to use this one. Let's see, hopefully, because it's got a bit more colour in it. It's a bit of a different kind of grey. Struggling with that quite a bit. Probably need to thin it a little bit, or just keep it really thick. Yeah, just keep it, just make sure I got enough on my bloody paintbrush. Oh, I'm such an idiot. And this is where I'm not being careful enough. I'm fudging up a lot. Yeah, I've got to not mind going into the crevice, because we're going to go over that crevice with a black. This is terrible. This is where I can't freehand anything. And everything looks really bad when I do it like this. We'll see about this one. That's probably how I'm going to have to paint it. We'll see. We'll see how it looks eventually when I'm done with it. Yeah. It's just going to take a bit of concentration to get through this, I'm afraid. Fucked up I screwed up my geometry there. Oh well. Hopefully it could look okay if you don't look too close. Here. They're starting to take on shape. I'm getting a better idea of how to do this. Still not great, but still a better idea of how to do this. Let's see what it will look like once we put the black in. If I can do that nicely. Because I'm certainly struggling with this one. But hopefully you can see they're starting to take on shape. I think there's some hope yet for these bases. I was a bit overzealous on the cutting of this one, but hopefully we can hide it with a paint job. Once this edge highlighting is done, then we're gonna go into all of those crevices with black. Hopefully just make this contrast pop a bit more. And then we get to do the fun part of doing these kind of lights. They're going to create a little bit of an OSL on the base. Giving them a little bit of color. Once that is all done as well, Then we can also add on the soil for the parts that we've cut off. Hopefully put a bit of grass and maybe even a bush in. I think that'll look nice. Maybe a shrubbery. Yeah. Okay. That bit is basically done. So now we're going to do in the black. Right. Actually, I'm going to use just this primer because it's already thinned down a little bit, and that'll be useful. Boink. Let's use you. Right. This is one that I didn't do so well on, so let's just practice. It's fairly easy to follow the crack on this. I just need to just make one of the grey lines a little bit more prominent. That gives a bit of contrast. There we go. Okay. So yeah, it is giving a little bit more contrast, which is kind of nice. I think some of my choice of where I've put the shine is a bit odd on some of these, so some are a bit better than others. But oh my god, following this line is so much easier thanks to the groove. I can't imagine trying to do that freehand. But it looks like freehand work, which is kind of cool. There we go. This one will be a nice easy one. Kind of mucked it up a little bit, but it'll do. You can see my geometry was a bit off. Yeah, they're alright. I don't think I'm going to muck around with them too much. I think they're looking okay. Fudging that one up a little bit, brushing it. There we go. There we go. Okay. They're actually starting to look like something now. They're lacking a little bit of colour, but that's what we're going to fix now. So, for the time being, I'm done with the edge highlighting there. So, we'll move this one back again, out the way. And we're going to go get our airbrush again. And we can see these little spots here. So we're going to be going in with a bit of a turquoise, a blue-green. We're going to do an initial spot of it. Then afterwards I'll mix in a little bit of white to lighten this up. And we'll do it again. We'll hopefully get this nice little glowing effect. Then we can also paint on the white perhaps in the center, the very center. But we'll play around, we'll see how it looks. Seal. What I would like to do, this worked out really well, so I'm going to go and clean this very quickly. So I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Okay, right, I've cleaned that one out and I'm ready to go. So let's get a little bit of this in. Okay, we're not going to need very much, so I'll pop that in there first. Then we'll get the purified water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Get a little bit of flow aid in there, just a tad. There we go. And then I'm going to mix it. So, I'm sure this is decently clean. And that's going to be, yeah, seems to be a good consistency there. So let's try using this one for our airbrush. Let's see if we can make a cool effect with this wonderful turquoisey blue-green. Alright. First, let's just flow that out first. Oh, I'm getting a bit of sputter now. I probably need to clean this properly. Okay, but let's just give this a go. Okay, now we're good, we're good, we're good. Okay. carefully. There we go, it's starting to come out. We're starting to see that. Now we got what looks like a bit of a glow. The hammer carefully. Start to see a bit of it coming through. Start to see, oh, it's not. Okay. Let's just make sure I think perhaps we've got a little bit too much gunk on the end. Yeah, I gotta clean it properly. Let's see if we can just get through this. Okay. I'm struggling with my airbrush now. After saying such good things about it. Let me just tease out some of this. Whoa, fudge that one up a bit. Yeah. Oh well, you do not have anything, but we could just give you a little bit of a glow on the side. Just to give you a bit of colour. I think that's kind of nice. There we go. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of struggles with this one. Getting the even flow going. And my aim is off. There we go. Oh, we've got the flow back again. go. You can get a bit, I think you got one just there. There we are. Okay, we're back in the game. There we go. Yeah, we're getting a bit of a better flow out of that now. Right, what we're going to do though is we're going to mix in a little bit of white. And we're going to use Surface Primer white, which is over here. We'll mix this one in, make it a little bit lighter, and hopefully make it a bit of a spotlight in the center there. As long as my airbrush doesn't decide to just completely kaput on me, which it most likely will try and do, because I need to give it a good old clean, perhaps with some hot water, and using the airbrush cleaner as well. After this bit, I'll be done with this, and then I think the last bit of spotting will be done with just a regular brush. Okay, that's coming through. Okay. I'm getting spider webbing because I got the got it up too high. That should be better. There we go. I kind of fixed it there. Kind of. May have done a bit too much with that. I may be mucking these up now. There we go, that one's better. In spider webbing. There we go. Try and mask it a bit. Just a little glow on that one. There we go. Okay, I'm fairly happy with this so far. There we go. Okay, gonna call that done with the airbrushing, and we're just gonna empty this one out and get on. So this one now can, we'll try and give it a good old clean in a bit later. I'm gonna do that off camera and clean it. For now, let's try and finish up these bases, and hopefully though we can call them done. That would be nice. And there'll be my 012 bases basically all finished, except for the large one, which I haven't done yet. Should have perhaps done that with them. I'm going to have to do all this whole process again just for that large one, for the gamma. But for the rest, it might take a while before I get there. So I might have some more models to do in a similar vein. So when I do those, which, yeah, I can do the other, how is it, the Outcast? Not the Outcast ones, the other Defiance, the other Defiance add-on. I can do it that way. Where's my little cap? There it is. Ooh. For the time being, I'm just gonna run some purified water through. Oh, let's actually open up the valve again. And we'll just pass that through. Once that's through, then we will paint in the dots a little bit more, paint in the spots a little bit more, so we can kind of see that glow. And then finally, I'm going to try and add on my little bit of grass on the side. We'll see how that goes. There we go. Okay, I'll move you out of the way now. You're done. And I'm going to shut off the old airbrush. Right. Next thing is a little bit of paint again. This time I'm going to be spotting these lights. I'm going to use actually ivory for this because it has a little bit more oomph than just pure white, and it will contrast a little bit to the cold blues and hopefully spot them fairly nicely. Well, let's just give it a go. I'm kind of maybe talking just a whole load of bollocks, but I feel like it makes sense. Right. So, yeah, that's kind of what it looks like now. Oh, it looks like actually looks like it's glowing. It actually works. Oh my god. I mean, there's a lot about these that could have been done a whole lot better. But for my first attempt, I feel like this is actually pretty awesome. It's a shame about this one, to be honest. But what I can do is I can cover that error with a foot. I'll figure out one that I can use to stick over it. Okay. I'm really liking these now. It's funny how that one final step can make such a difference. Yeah. That's lovely. You can still see the spider webbing a little bit when you get up close, but from a distance it's not too bad. There we go. We've got these little spots of light that's coming from the bases, and I think they're looking pretty good actually. And finally, I'm gonna try and have a go at doing these last little bits. So we're going to use the mud, but we're also going to use some of the flock as well that I've got. And we're going to try and make a little grassy side and see how that looks. Okay, so I'm just going to get a bit of an old brush. There we go. Old brush at hand. And there's only a couple of these guys, so let's just do one at a time. Let's just start with you, because you're the one I kind of screwed up anyway, so I'm not too worried about you getting a bit mucked up. So let's just give it a go. So we've got this lovely goopy stuff. So we don't need much of it, we just need it to edge this area here. Go. Right, we've now put that on there. Now I'm just gonna sprinkle. I'm not sure if this is gonna look at all good at all, but this is the test. Sprinkle that on. Hopefully that'll stick to the mud rather than anything else. Clean that off a little bit. But yeah, kind of gives a little grassy edge to the whole thing, and that looks pretty cool actually. So you can see there that now got this rather cool grassy effect on the side there. I think that's actually worked out better than I was expecting. So let's just add it to these other ones. I think that's enough. I don't think I need to put any kind of shrubs or anything. That would be a bit too much. I think this grass at the side is enough. It's a nice contrast to the futuristic metal of these areas. It's looking nice, I think. Only thing is the blue glow is not going to be falling on the grass so much, but it's not too bad. There we go. Another one done. I feel like I should have done a better edge highlighting on the top of that rim there. It's a bit too stark on the cutoff there, but it's pretty good. There's one more. Okay, one more with edges, this one. And then we're going to be done. Go. And that is that. We've got some cool bases. Hey, I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, so there's our bases all done, ready for their models to be placed on as well. And then that's it, it's finished. It's my first go at ever doing that kind of style of base, and I'm actually really pleased with the result. I've got some wonky lines on the edging. I thought the stippling was actually going to be terrible, but it's actually turned out really nicely. And even the spotlighting of the lights as well is turned out really nicely as well. After everything's come together, it looks really good. So, pretty pleased with that. Thank you if anyone's like watching this at the end. I don't think there's actually anyone really watching this. It says there's one person, but I don't think there's anyone actually watching. But if anyone watching this as a review, as a just watching it when I'm not live, thank you, and catch you later. Bye bye.